Hey there, welcome to another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we are looking at this time is the Konosuke Swedish stainless steel Gyuto 270mm knife. So this is their big one. The construction of these is mono steel, so there's no cladding or layers. It's just all one sheet of steel. They laser cut them and then finish sand them to shape. The heat treat on that steel is about 60 to 61 Rockwell. The weight on these are really light, laser thin knives, laser performers, kind of the definitive laser style. So the weight's about 159 grams or 5.6 ounces with this particular handle. So this, you will not believe picking up this blade how light it is. It's just super flickable. As long as we're at it, let's talk about the balance point. So your balance point is right there. For me, that is just a little ahead of my pinch grip. If you've got slightly longer hands, or I should say bigger hands, it might be right on the money. So for me, this gives you a little bit of weight forward bias, which is kind of important on a light knife. Gives you a little chopping power. But this is a amazingly light blade. When you pick it up, you're like, holy cow, can't believe it's that light. So the edge length on this is about 268 or almost 270, about 10.5 inches. So plenty of room for lots of prep. 420 millimeter on the overall length. Spine thickness coming out of the handle above the back of the blade is about 2.3 millimeters. So these have enough spine thickness where they can do some nice contouring, convexing on the grind towards the edge for, reasonable food release for a blade this style. About halfway down the blade, it's about 2 millimeters. And then as you start to go forward towards the tip, it starts to thin out and kind of just does a continuous taper and gets fairly thin towards the tip. So the tip performs really, really well. Blade height is 51.25 on this one, so plenty of height for board clearance. The handle is Mark got a big batch of these kind of semi-custom octagonal walnut with a maple ferrule, and so they've got nice fit and finish on the handle. It's about 79 millimeters or 3.1 inches at the ferrule main handle junction, so it's got a little bit of size to kind of match the size of the knife. And let's see here, talked about that. So let's take a close-up look at the blade. Looks like these are also they've got a oil finish on them as well. I talked to Mark a little bit about these. So they've got I believe a mineral oil finish on them out of the box. So that's why they're not super white, in terms of the maple. Got a nice handle install on there, nice and tight. So here's your close-up of the blade with your vertical finish marks. You've got embossed kanji or maker's mark on it. Sorry, trying to get a good shot here. There we go. Back of the blade is plain. And you can see they always do a nice job on these. They've got a rounded polished spine. They've got a rounded polished choil, so they're very comfortable right out of the box. Got a nice spot for a pinch grip here. The out of the box edge on this was actually pretty nice, about a 6 out of 10. And these will get really sharp. Mark Richmond really likes this Swedish stainless steel they're putting in these, so it's a fine grain, easy to sharpen, decent edge retention steel. He likes it about as much as the HD2 steel that everybody goes nuts over, and he thinks these should sell just as well as HD2. HD2 might sharpen up a little bit easier, but this is full stainless versus semi, and it's also easier to get a hold of. So if you're looking for an HD2, think about one of these because they are basically the same geometry, same performance, just in a different flavor steel. Again, this is a beast of a prep knife. It's not super heavy, but over long periods, it'll not fatigue you a lot because of that light weight. Here is the profile. And just a really nice all-around profile. Sorry, trying to keep it's having to hunt for contrast here. There we go. So here's your profile. A little bit of a flat towards the heel. Not a giant flat spot. Rocks, really smooth push-pull cuts. You can see I can get pretty high on the tip there over tall ingredients. You've got a gentle curve to the rear, so you could probably do some chopping with this as well. So if you got a lot of prep to do, large ingredients, large volume, the 270 is pretty awesome for that, especially one this light. It's actually pulling wood out of my cutting board. It's so sharp. So pretty cool knife. Let's see, I covered the balance point already. So actually, let me make sure I did that. So there's your balance point. I think I already did this, but there's your balance point, which for me is a little bit in front of my pinch. And just a really cool blade. Fairly stiff for the size and how thin it is. Just a great knife. So there you have the Konosuke Swedish Stainless Gyuto 270 model.